Hello, good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. Hello, everyone. Can someone please confirm if you can see me and hear me? Good morning. Thank you, thank you. I still kind of am getting used to talking again, so if I'm a little hard to understand, I'm sorry. I'm feeling a lot better, though. Ooh, our song today is Want To by Sugarland. Just shuffle a couple of these really quick. Good morning. Thank you. I'm feeling better too. I picked a very interesting week for surgery because Gavin literally had a shortened day every single day for snow. So it was a long week. All right, let's get start with an angel number for the week. Everyone can think of a number. You don't have to put it, but the number 1 or 2, and we're going to see your angel number for the week, and we'll get started. Pick a number 1 or 2. If you picked number 1, we have willpower, some kind of achievement, striving, moving forward, courage, and luck. Significant events are on the cards. Your angel number is 1818. And number 2, 1414. Light up, some kind of constructive outlook, focusing on your needs, desires, and hobbies. All right, let's get started here. Going to go back and forth between super chats and regular ones so that it's fair. I did put this up here so you guys can see. I'm going to try and do one question at a time per person. What else did I want to say? If you do send a super chat and it's for a question, make sure you re-put the question in with the super chat so that it's together. Otherwise, I won't be able to find it. I feel like there was something else I wanted to say. Maybe that's it. All right, let me try and go back up here. Poetic Justice. Will my health be okay this year? I'm seeing some kind of like preventative care needed for something. I'm not seeing anything going in a very bad direction so long as there's some kind of preventative care as well. Oh, thank you, Kim, for being a member. Oh, so I did, because there's been a lot of people in these, I turned on memberships. I'm going to do 1 or 2 membership reading only so that it's less people. The first one is going to be Friday. I think I made it for 10:30 a.m. EST. What are my gifts? It feels like right now you're already kind of having prophetic dreams. It's kind of just needing to learn how to translate them so that you can understand them. It feels like your dreams are pointing you towards something right now. Confirmation. I want to see if the way I am feeling is right. Yes. The way that you're feeling is because you've learned a lesson from the cycle that you're now closing out. Will I successfully lose weight and be fit and healthy this year? You're not going to be where you want to be, but you're going to make progress. It feels like slow progress and then some kind of big leap forward and then a little bit of like settling into that. So you're not going to be exactly where you want to be, but you are going to be making a lot of progress. Why did my daughter have to leave nursing school? The devil and 5 of pentacles here and the wheel in reverse. It feels like hitting like a drastic dead end where everything that felt like it was, I almost want to say avoidable, like something that seemed avoidable became unavoidable. There's also this feeling of like thing after thing after thing and just kind of everything piling up at once. I also feel like she wasn't getting what she wanted to out of it as well. Yeah, 10 of Cups in reverse. It feels like she's being divinely redirected into a better direction. Will my surgery go fine? Yes. Yes, your surgery will go fine. Should I take antidepressants for my mental health? It feels like not to plan on it being your permanent solution, but more of like a jump start until you can form better habits that you can then maintain. Right now, you're struggling to create the habits to then be able to maintain the habits. So it feels like that would kind of put you in a place where you could form those healthy habits and then work towards slowly like teetering off. It looks like a good temporary solution, yes. But also, I'm feeling strongly to say, like, don't let them start you on anything high of a dose. Like, if it feels like this is the appropriate dose, maybe go like a smidge lower. It almost feels like you might be a little sensitive to it and not need like as high of a dose as a normal situation. Is my daughter okay? No drugs. It might be alcohol. There's some kind of, I'm trying to break from a codependency and I'm making progress, but I'm not all the way there yet. There is a little bit too much of something, but it feels more like alcohol than drugs. It feels like it may be someone that she's hanging around that's not the best influence for her. So, like, if that person went away, then the habit would kind of go away too. What is my spiritual gift? Mixing your intellect with your voice. It feels like you're able to just channel. It feels like clairaudience is probably something that you have experienced in moments when you felt very grounded. Um, clairaudience is really, clairaudience comes with you being extremely grounded and intending to channel. It's like you channel, you get something, and then you ask for an audible confirmation, if that makes sense. That's how you start to kind of develop it and show yourself that that's what you're doing. Is it my intuition that seems to answer things, or a spiritual gift, or just my nerve brain? Sometimes it's your inner child. Your inner child like has the mic and is able to see things from a perspective of clarity, I guess, like very like clear cut view on things. And then it's also channeling, intuition, spiritual gift. I mean, all three, but it's like a mix between your inner child and like your higher self communicating with your inner child, if that makes sense. Are my instincts about my spirit? Yes, it's almost like they want you to kind of practice understanding communication. So like using music, making a playlist and kind of bouncing your thoughts off of your guides and like having a conversation. It's almost like your intuition has been right about certain things because of you listening to this. And now it's like just kind of proving it for yourself in real time. So like channeled writing, channeled like stream of consciousness writing, or channeled music, basically finding a way to communicate in like a conversation style so you can get more comfortable trusting it. Well, my daughter beat her eating disorder. I'm seeing some struggle here, almost like some backpedaling. It's almost like she got to like a level of facing emotions that were buried. How do I put this? And almost kind of got comfortable with the emotions just being on the surface. It's like there's a need to process what she now understands about her emotions. It feels like needing to try something that's not being tried right now. There's some kind of imbalance here that needs to be addressed. It's an imbalance in processing of emotions, I guess you'd say. Yeah, Ten of Swords in reverse. It's like she intellectually understands the emotions now. Now they need to be processed. That's kind of why it's taking steps backwards, it feels like. I feel like I'm being pushed down the spiritual journey. Yes, the Hermit in reverse is literally like the spiritual journey in reverse, pushed down, so that you can stop doubting yourself and your ability to handle hard stuff and realign with self-love. So yes. Will both of your special needs kids be able to tolerate it getting braces on their teeth? Tower. The Tower and the Star and the King of Pentacles. It's going to be tough. Both of your kids. If one's a boy and one's a girl, it feels like the boy may struggle a little bit more. If they're both boys, it feels like it's the younger one that may struggle a little bit more. It's not going to be easy. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not going to be easy. It almost feels like one of them is going to try and maybe want to leave. I don't know if they do like laughing gas or something to calm them, if that's a possibility. It feels like just going in and going for it is going to prove to be a challenge. So if there's anything that can be done to kind of counterbalance that, planning ahead, it may be beneficial. The star is there, so it whatever needs to happen happens, but it's going to be difficult. How do you see my future in love? Ace of Pentacles and Wheel of Fortune. Good. You're an over-giver. And it's like right now things are being held back because you don't need another scenario of over-giving to someone who's not going to equally give back to you in return. There's a little bit of healing needed in that way of knowing what you bring to the table, knowing that you bring value to the table. I do see a really good relationship here, but it's like after you kind of get back in your power and remind yourself that you don't need to chase, you attract, especially once you're already with the person, like getting to that equal give and take and not feeling like you're not doing enough if you're not over giving. Will my upcoming surgery be the last one? That's confusing. Yes, but there's like something else that's also like has to be handled. It doesn't feel like another surgery, but another like hiccup or bump in the road. But surgery, it looks like it's more than likely yes, but there's a possibility if whatever that thing isn't taken care of, then that may result in a surgery. But it feels like more than likely this is the last one, but there will be another kind of complication of some sort. Will I stay with the little guy consistently? Less than you would like. It's like a middle case scenario of what you're expecting. Not as much as you would like and not like somewhere in the middle there. Will my son finally get some long-awaited therapy? Yes, but it's going to be difficult for him to open up. And it doesn't look like it's coming quickly. It's still going to be a minute. Yeah, look at that. It's like in the therapy, him and the therapist. But it's almost like it's very difficult to get anything out of it in the beginning. Hard to open up or like struggle to participate. It does feel like it turns around eventually. Yeah, like heads there eventually, but slowly. But it also feels like this isn't necessarily like right around the corner. It's still, there's something still that needs to be moved around. Will my niece Stephanie be cancer? It looks like it's going to be a struggle. It looks like eventually that will be kind of the reason for her passing when it does happen, unfortunately. Do I take the promotion at work? Feels like a trap. Ace of Wands in reverse, Ace of Pentacles in reverse, the Devil. It feels like you're eventually going to want to find something else. Yeah, the Sun in reverse. I'm getting a no. It's almost like it traps you. Or it's like maybe needing to renegotiate if you are going to take it for the amount of work that you're doing. Maybe you need more money. Something's not as it should be. Are my twin girls together in heaven? The Hierophant. Yes, because look, there's even 2 people on the card at the bottom there. It's okay to love yourself again. They are together and they both want you to know it's okay to love yourself again. Will my youngest son have a less complicated year and find a girl that really cares for him? He's going to get a lot of clarity about what he doesn't want this year. It doesn't feel like the relationship is going to happen this year, but it does feel like something's going to happen that teaches him what he does not want or what he's unwilling to settle for. And it feels like that's the lesson that comes through before a twist in fate, so to speak. It feels like he finds a new friend this year, or like someone that he can talk to in a different way. I would say it's the year of preparation. Did I get the job I interviewed for on Friday? Thank you. Yes. Yes. It's going to help you put down a heavy burden and heal too. Yes. Will I be successful in my tarot business? Yes. But there's like something that's kind of blocking you from being at the success that you could be at, like something's shifting. It feels like kind of, well, almost like adding something in, like that makes it unique. I do see success. I do see like divine orchestration for it to be successful, but needing to kind of add something to make it different, I guess you could say. Boy, girl, twin. Oh, you're welcome. Will I be driving in a year? Around a year-ish. It might not be exactly before a year. I do see it happening, but I also see a little bit of a delay. So it could be just like closer to the end of a year when you wish it was sooner, or it could be like a little bit after that time frame. It is going to happen though. Are my boundaries I've set with my mother and brother best for all of us? Yes, because it's one of those situations where if there wasn't boundaries, you'd end up bickering so much that you'd end up like 10 steps backwards. It feels like someone's an overgiver a little bit, a lot of it. I would say the boundaries are necessary. Yeah, Queen of Swords, the boundaries are necessary. Whose energy comes in an orb? It feels like this is like someone who's like with the house that you're in. So if you're in a family house, whoever lived in that house before, if it's someone else's house, it feels like a familiar to the location, spirit, like not anything bad, just still, I guess, trying to pass all the way. Maybe some attachment to the room. Will she survive? Something drastic needs to happen sooner rather than later. Yes, but it almost feels like it's going to be cutting it close. Something needs to shift ASAP. Should I go for my dream job at YouTube? Yes, but needing to really work on your mindset first, like making sure that you're going in with the right energy, with confidence, with it feels like right now you're very anxious. It's almost like once you have it, then you have the possibility of losing it, and that's stressing you out already before that even has the possibility of happening. So needing to unpsych yourself out, because if it's calling to you, there's a reason for it. So trusting yourself to do it confidently. Will there be a cure for Lily's vocal cord dysfunction in the next few years? There's going to be progress, maybe like a trial run of something. It doesn't look like it feels like they're working towards something that's going to start to be tested in the next few years. Will she move closer to us? I'm not seeing that happening yet with the moving closer. It's a possibility. I do see some movement, but I don't know if it's necessarily closer yet. Will I be moving next year? I'm not seeing that right now. I'm seeing maybe preparation for an eventual move, but I'm not seeing a move next year. Will my daughter be able to leave her boyfriend? It's going to be a struggle. It feels like there's going to be a need for her to defend herself before she leaves. I almost feel like something kind of needs to happen to wake her up to get her to leave. Yeah, it's like she needs to actually see it for herself, and she's not doing that right now. I have the Hermit in reverse. It almost feels like she's going to need a wake-up call, unfortunately, before that happens. Are my adult daughters ever going to stop doing drugs and get divorced? Feels like one of them will sooner than the other one. One of them is like more close with someone who's a really bad influence on them. And it's almost like that feeds into the one, and then the one feeds into the other. It is possible, but right now I'm just kind of seeing a bad cycle they're stuck in. It's like the progress can only be really made when they stop being around whoever that is like enabling the behavior. because then it feels like they're enabling one another as well on top of that. So I'm going to figure out what type of job I should apply for. I just want to say something like travel or defense, or like it's something that intellectually stimulates you in a practical way, like practical solutions that you can solve or pieces that you can like move into place. The office, money manager. Yeah, like I'm seeing you like as like doing some kind of intellectual puzzle that allows for that stimulation of the mind with like seeing the results of your work, like planning, strategizing, coordination, something like that, travel, something like that. Missing my dog really bad. Chariot came out. Your dog's getting to be outside a lot. Yeah, the Fool, Page of Wands, Six of Cups, so that the dog is being treated well. Is our neighbor Alf a real estate scammer trying to defraud him? I don't know if I would call it a. There's something weird. I don't know. I don't know if he's like a scammer or if he's like feels like this is a crime of opportunity, like where there's something off, there's something nefarious. But it feels more like I don't do this all the time, but I'm doing it now, or I'm like cutting corners in this case. There's something to be weary of, yeah. Should I be concerned about my mother's health? It feels like either she needs more assistance than she's showing and isn't asking for help, or it could be that she got something from the doctor that she's not telling you about. I mean, concerned a little, yes, but it feels like the concern is it should be more like getting her to be on board with asking for help when she needs it and not holding it back. So when she really does need it, she's not holding back, if that makes sense. You see me and my family move to another state and making it. If there's movement, it's going to be a bit and be kind of slow. I'm not necessarily seeing movement right now. I feel like that's not what's best for you at this time. Not that it couldn't happen in the future, but I just don't feel like right now it's what's best. Will my husband and sister's heart issues be fixed or at least kept under control? Kept under control, yes. One is going to be more fixed than the other. One's going to take longer to be okay than the other. It's almost like one responds to treatment better than the other, if that makes sense. It feels like managed, yes, though. Will my parents ever recover financially? It feels like they're going to have to do something drastic too. I don't know if that's like selling a property or drastically cutting down on bills. It's like they need to jumpstart themselves going in the right direction. It's going to be a bit before there's any change here. It almost feels like they need to get some kind of outside help that they're not taking advantage of right now. Think of it like how you start a lawnmower, you pull, and then eventually it kicks over. It's like right now they need to pull until it kicks over, if that makes sense. So kind of getting a jump start in some way to get themselves out of a hole, it feels like. My spirit guides have a message for me. Yeah, there's someone who's not for you in your energy here. Either like a cord that needs to be cut or someone who just doesn't want what's best for you that you're giving energy to. Needing to stop putting effort into this Knight of Swords in reverse person. You care more for them than they do for you is what it feels like, or they're not very nice with their words and there needs to be some separation there. Did I make the right decision this morning? You did what you had to do to either defend yourself or it's like it was the only option and any other option would have kind of taken you out of your power in some way. So yeah. The song is I'm Good by Natalie Jane. I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. So yeah. Will I find peace in life? It feels like needing to kind of dive deep into your psyche to feel for what is not letting you be at ease in your own mind. Kind of needing to reconnect with your higher power, reconnect with your guides through reconnecting with yourself. It's like there's answers available to you, but there's kind of a cork blocking it because you need to reconnect with your higher self, with you on the other side of the burdens that you've been carrying. It's almost like you've been carrying burdens so long that you don't really know how to even go about putting them down. It almost feels like some kind of almost like literal hypnosis type, or like basically needing to get your busy mind out of the way so you can let everything that's in your subconscious kind of dump out and not have to carry the weight of it anymore is kind of how you start to get there. Will I be in a serious relation in 2024? I'm not seeing that, no. I'm seeing like crisis averted. So maybe you start out in a relationship and realize this person is not right for me and kind of back away. And if so, which that feels like is what is gonna happen, it's a lesson of healing. It's a lesson of, am I going to get involved with someone who's not good for me just to have someone there? And if I don't, then I move closer to the person who is my person. But it doesn't look like that's 2024. It looks like there's a step in that direction, but not to that person yet. Will I be laid off from work? Unfortunately, it looks like yes. I would start to plan ahead as if that's going to happen, unfortunately. Anything positive this month for me and my kids? I just shuffled the song Rainbow by Casey Musgraves. You're making a decision to unstuck yourself in some way. It's like there's some kind of cycle ending. So the positive is coming. This month is the preparation for the positive. It feels like Queen of Pentacles and Justice. Something good is coming. It's not necessarily this month, but the decision for it is coming this month. And once the decision is made, it ushers in the good thing to come. It feels like the positive message is that like the light at the end of the tunnel is coming. But there's going to be, you need to choose it. There's some choice coming this month for it. Did my mom know I was with her when she passed on my birthday? Is there something you kept like repeating to her over and over or singing over and over? Yes, I'm trying to something about a repetition or a song. She knew that you were with her. Um you did something out of the norm for yourself lately, and she's proud of you for kind of pouring into yourself in that way. Why do my sisters hate me, and will they ever contact me? It's a projection of some sort. Yeah, it's a projection of some sort. This is like you and then them, right? On separate, and judgment in reverse. You remind them of something that they couldn't unlock within themselves. Yeah, something they couldn't unlock within themselves. Will they ever apologize? I feel like that is unlikely. Later in life, they may how do I put this? Kind of try and sweep it under the rug, but it doesn't look like necessarily a direct apology. Let me change this playlist. What is missing to get clients in my coaching biz? See how these are like back to back, all cups, creativity, inner child, self-love. See how they're back to back? It's like you're back and forth about some kind of increased vulnerability or increased like like letting your inner child come out through your work in some way that makes you feel a little bit more vulnerable. It feels like that is kind of the missing connection here, like just connecting to like that part of your clientele as well, finding that part of you, letting that part of you come out, that creative inner child part. It's almost like something that your inner child would be like, oh, that's bold, like that's the move that kind of connects you to your audience. Chess by Nate Rose is the song. It's like you just have to move a couple pieces and you're there, but like the moving of the pieces is what needs to be done by your inner child, if that makes sense. I hope you guys can understand me, okay? I feel like I'm talking funny. Will my innovation of a garden product be successful? Yes, but it's almost like needing to tweak one thing and make it more. I always feel like it's something kind of superficial, like the packaging or something like that, like tweaking that a little bit so you can get to the success that it could be at. It's like teetering on like kind of where you want to be and where you want to be, and that one change will kind of push it. What is my strongest intuitive gift? Inner knowing, inner feeling. Yeah, based off of your emotions. It almost feels like you can kind of get the inner feeling, inner knowing, and then confirm it with like channeled writing or channeled drawing, kind of just like free flow and allow it to like not even look at the paper and allow whatever you're drawing to confirm. And that's kind of how you strengthen it. But like listening to what your feelings are telling you. Don't Stop Until You Find a Way by Fearless Motivation. It's not a song, it's like a motivational speech. It's a good one. Will me and my husband ever get to move to the mountains? I feel like this was a childhood dream of one of you. Yes. Yes, but there's something about the strategy that needs to be evaluated. Like getting from point A to point B, like needing to look at what your plan is, or if you don't have a plan yet, then starting to make one. But it is going to happen eventually. Is my stepdad going to make it in a year or less? I'm just going to take some photos. I feel like there's going to be some kind of close call is what I'm getting. I'm not seeing which way the close call ends up going, though. Feels like it could go either way. Is it going to be just you taking care of him? Yes, it looks like yes. For the most part, you're taking at least most of the responsibility of it. Oh, Resurrection by Ryan Oakes. That feels like a good sign. I want to say I'm on the hopeful side of a close call and then being okay, at least for a little bit. Will my shoulder require surgery? I almost want to say it's going to be presented as like your choice. That doesn't really make sense, though, but like almost like, well, we could do it and it would be this much better, or we could not do it and it would be this much better. It feels like you end up going with surgery, though. Excuse me, I have the tower. It feels like you end up going with it. Almost like their recommendation is like, well, it could kind of go either way, if that makes sense, but there's more benefit to doing it than not doing it. Will I be able to channel this year? Yes, because you're healing some kind of blockage. Your root chakra. You're focused on grounding yourself. Like literally toes in the ground and anything that keeps you like present in your body and mind. Will my son ever accept self-discipline and strengthen his life? Almost feels like he needs like a plan created for him to follow to get him towards self-discipline. It's like feeling I like don't even know where to start type of thing. I mean, it's possible he needs to kind of, I'm supposed to like be directed on what steps to take. Almost with a situation where like he says he knows what to do and can do it, but like deep down doesn't really know and is kind of avoiding facing that, if that makes sense. He doesn't trust himself to stick with a change, it feels like. Is my sketchbook invention worth pursuing? Yes, but it's gonna need like more steps than you're anticipating or more time than you're anticipating. Like there's some like need for more of something before it can be a success. It almost feels like more versions, like you'll think it's the final version and there's like two additional versions or something like that. It feels like that. So kind of just be patient with yourself as you pursue it. Did my first love actually love me? I mean, what they thought love was. It's like their priority was trying to define what love was at that time, and you were what was helping them define that for themselves. So, in a way, yes, but like their view of love has also developed since then, as I feel that yours has as well. So yes, but like in a different mindset, I guess you'd say. What is my husband hiding behind his phone? I don't want to have to defend myself against a choice that I made that I'm keeping in the dark. Someone from the past. It's weird because it doesn't feel like it's romantic. It just feels like something that he doesn't know how you'd react to, so he hid, and now there's the energy of hiding. Yeah, it doesn't feel romantic. I almost want to say like an old friend that he just feels like it probably wouldn't look good. I don't know. It's weird. It doesn't feel romantic though at all. Yeah, it's like I'm just trying to make sure that I don't have to argue. I don't know. Song from my husband. You've Got a Friend by James Taylor. And She's Got Away by Billy Joel. He's okay. He's stopped worrying. Yeah, he's still right there with you. Find something to let yourself look forward to. You need that. You need to find something up ahead to give yourself hope to look forward to. Should I start my own business this year? Yes, just be mindful about how much money you're putting into it before you're making back money. It feels like you may have a tendency to kind of get excited and overspend and then stress yourself out about it, business wise. But I am seeing a very good new start that gives you some kind of financial freedom here. Am I accurate about having a past life as hell? Yes, and you were given this information because it's something that's like aligned with your soul purpose in this lifetime. It's almost like you're going to be making money in this lifetime the same means that you made money in that lifetime, but in like a updated way, like of this time period, if that makes sense. But kind of similar profession or like hobby or something. Will my father ever change his ways and negative thinking to he's projecting a wound onto her. It's like his brain is reading her as a trigger for a wound that he doesn't want to look at. So instead, it's just projection of how he feels about that wound. Um, I don't think so. It feels like unless he becomes ready to face that wound, which feels like it's a long time standing wound. Um, it's like his brain will kind of keep like scanning her in as the same trigger, if that makes sense. Let me change the playlist. It's so weird because the whole right half of my face is still numb, but the left half is not. So that's fun. Okay, where was I? Does my husband realize that his adult daughter manipulates him? One of those things where willful blindness until I've convinced myself that I'm misreading the situation that I know I'm reading correctly. So does he know? Yes, but he's convinced himself that that's not the case. He internalizes it, I guess you could say. It must be my fault. So I'm just going to pretend like it's not happening. Type of thing. My dad was an evil man who passed away this summer. Did he have any messages for me? Upon his life review, he can now see how what he put you through made you stronger, and he's saying at least there's that. He's learning to see with fresh eyes, I guess you could say. Sorry, yes, but it's almost like he's working through having to really admit fault in order to accept sorrow, if that makes sense. So yes, it's almost like he's looking at it from the perspective right now of like, I'm trying to work through this by focusing on knowing that at least it made you stronger. I feel like that kind of sounds like something he would say. Maybe that's kind of the confirmation that you need it. Will I be financially okay if I move in the next 3 months? I feel like it's going to be close. There's something that needs to be restricted a little bit when it comes to spending or like managed differently. Almost like the better that that's managed, you won't get into the mindset of freaking yourself out and almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy of having to overspend or having something go wrong you spend money on, like not needing that lesson. So kind of making sure that your spending is where it needs to be so it doesn't start a domino effect. Other than that, yes. Does my granddaughter's mother care about her daughter or love her? Feels like she's running from herself. It almost feels like she is trying to make sense of her love for her, if that makes sense, or like make sense of love. Does she love her? I want to say like in her own way. And we can meet others where we meet ourselves, and it feels like she's running from herself. So there's a bit of that going on with I guess you said like pulling back, or maybe even like transactional type of love, or like scared of it type of love. So there's love, but it's like in her own unique way. Sounds like him. Yeah. I almost felt like he was wait, where did that comment go? I don't know where it went. It almost feels like he was saying it in that way, so you would be like, okay, yeah, that sounds like him. Was it a concern of unaliving, a threat, or an attempt? Unaliving, a threat, or an attempt? Unalive, the first one, it feels like that maybe has happened before, or like an attempt at that before, but it doesn't feel like what has happened before happened again, but there's still the underlying problems. A threat, there is some kind of message coming across here, or an attempt. There is someone untrustworthy on the attempt pile. I would say it's some kind of mix between the second two. It's I almost want to say it's not what it looks like, or it's not what it initially appears to be, or it's not like what the most likely scenario would be. It's like something's not what it seems. What is my past life with my father? It's like you kind of either got separated or lost one another in a past life, and it's like there was certain lessons that needed to be finished out in this lifetime that were left over from the previous lifetime separation. It feels like a forced separation though. Air Force, infantry, Navy. Yeah, it feels like there's some due to war separation in a past life. Why did my dad push me away on his death? It's almost like an internalized feeling of unworthiness. It's like a mix between like I just feel like I need to take it on all by myself, or like this feeling of I don't want to let what I'm feeling spill out onto others. I don't want others to see my fear. I want to put on a brave face. I want to just seclude. But then there's like this feeling of not really understanding why I'm doing it, but not being able to stop myself from doing it as well. When I'm hearing a song. Take It Easy by the Eagles. That's almost like for like almost like overwhelmed by what was happening and trying to process it and didn't want that to spill out, and also felt unworthy of asking for support in a way. It's like this traffic of thought, I guess you could say. Will I ever get married? Yes, it feels like it's a new person though. Yes. You're going to be in your Empress era. So you're going to have someone who is that Emperor energy to match you. What do I need to do to have my children back in my life? I'm supposed to like addressing the situation from a different angle. Trying something out of the box to get it's like addressing the situation from a different angle. That's almost like making it look like you're surrendering to something, the process, or like if they're older, kind of making it look like you're following suit to what they wanted. It's like getting your foot in the door to then kind of push all the way through. Needing to approach a situation from a different angle. There's also a feeling of like another party that could help you in some way. Feels like someone who's connected to them. I can't really tell who it is. Oh, 10 of Cups, maybe a family member. There's like a middle party that could help with the foot in the door part. I'm going to stay on for about 10 more minutes, guys, and then I'm going to hop off. I think I'm going to probably be back on tomorrow as well. Oh, I did that one. Is my current boyfriend the one, and is there marriage in our future? No, I'm seeing eventual. It's like you two end up not being on the same page, and then it depends how it comes back together. I'm not seeing marriage right now. Always worried about everyone but me. How am I going to hold up with everything going on around me? There's an unexpected change coming in your favor in which you won't have to continue to like fight against the grain. You're not in the clear effort yet wise, like it's still like climbing uphill, but it's almost like something comes like a swift wind that kind of pushes you uphill. It makes it a little bit easier. There's also going to be some kind of delay on something. But don't get frustrated about the delay, because the delay is to avoid something that you don't need to have to deal with. Things are going to start to shift. Just don't let yourself get frustrated with any changes of plans, because there's going to be a change of plans that looks inconvenient but is in your favor, because it's like avoiding something. Do I need to fear my siblings due to mom's living? little bit, yeah. This I'm seeing as like the four corners, like everyone trying to get a piece of the pie here, and it came out with justice in reverse. It almost feels like maybe someone would try and kind of like add in a clause, or like, I don't know, like there's something that it feels like someone's on the fence about attempting something or trying to like pull the wool over someone's eyes. Yeah, about money. I would say be weary, especially with things that you're signing, making sure that maybe that's what it is. Maybe like trying to get you to sign something that ends up not being what it's presented to be. Kind of just making sure of what you're signing. Will I travel abroad this year on a long journey? It's highly likely, yes, but it almost feels like you may decide to wait, like almost like you plan it and then you just switch something. It feels like maybe not within a year, but there is travel coming up. Well, I meet my husband this year. No, not this year. I'm seeing a need for you to kind of come out of your shell in a different way or find people in a different way. Kind of like whatever you're trying now, step out of the box. It almost feels like you'll find someone that aligns with your interests. That's the person that you're meant to connect with. So like finding someone through your interests somehow, instead of just like happenstance finding someone, kind of like putting out the intention. For some reason I'm seeing like the wine painting thing, like where you go and drink wine and you paint, like that type of thing. Like it feels like you are likely to meet someone that way when the time is right. Not necessarily through painting and wine, but you know what I mean. Will my grandson get back with his fiance? Feels like they try and it doesn't work. They're not on the same page about something fundamental, and it feels like that just keeps coming up. It feels like they try to get back together without addressing that, and it doesn't work. And then it's possible they'll try again. But whatever that is, if they don't get on the same page about it, they're going to keep cycling in the same issue. Is my great grandson gifted? And if so, what is it? Mediumship. Mediumship when emotions are balanced. It almost feels like, and that can be like just channeling as well, but it almost feels like when he's not in balance, it may scare him to get the channels or feel overwhelming. Whereas when he's in balance, he'll be able to understand it. So like not repressing emotions, kind of being in his power and not at odds with himself. But like channeling, mediumship, direct, clear communication. Mental health is difficult. Insight. start giving yourself the opportunity to shift what you're taking in, like spending 20 to 30 minutes a day looking up like motivational speeches on YouTube. It's like needing to put a cog in the wheel of going with the flow when the flow is not really serving you. It feels like things that you've tried, when they don't work quick enough, you don't stick to them. It feels like needing to basically pour into your ears positivity that will start to shift the way you're perceiving things. So I'm feeling like specifically like motivational speeches about, I mean, kind of just like whatever interests you, like looking at it from that perspective, just kind of giving yourself an uninterrupted period each day where you're pouring into your brain something that gets you out of the routine of thought that you're currently in, if that makes sense. Are the doctors on the right path with my health issues? Yes, it feels like there's going to be like a long time coming type clarity coming soon so that you can get the right preventative care or like maintenance care. Any messages for me? There's a need to let yourself explore some topic of interest, like how do I put this? Your brain is bored. You need more mental stimulation or intellectual stimulation. It's almost like that opens the door to you going down a path of bringing something new into your life that refreshes you. So find something that's intellectually stimulating to you and start to give yourself like bouts of exploring it or looking into it or researching it or something. Feels like a new hobby kind of, but not like a hobby. I don't know how to explain it. My siblings stole my inheritance. Will there be any repercussions? It feels like people will know, like the truth will come out. Mm. It feels like there's a minor solution eventually offered, but it's not really making things necessarily right, but there's some minor solution offered. It almost feels like a solution to kind of make things go away or make people stop talking or something like that. Will I ever have good mental health? Yes, needing to shine light on there's a situation from your past that you're still seeing yourself through the lens of another person who you weren't able to convince to see you clearly. It's like someone else had a distorted perception of you because of their distorted perception of themselves. Um, and because there wasn't closure or something like that, you're still seeing yourself through that person's eyes, trying to figure out what could have been different or what could have changed or how were you misread. This is like a subconscious program that's kind of running in your mind. So needing to work on self-concept and the way that you are viewing yourself and making sure that that's coming from you and not from someone else's lenses in which they see the world. Will my son have a girlfriend this year? It feels like he's going to have an experience with someone that doesn't end up being what he hopes it would be in the beginning, almost like a lesson what I don't want type of thing, and ends up moving forward from it. It feels like it's preparing him for a relationship to come in, but it doesn't necessarily feel like this year. That one. Gonna do about 3 more. Will my new business have a successful launch? Yes. Make sure you listen to your gut feeling about something, because it feels like there's going to be a decision that needs to be made where you'll be able to listen to somebody else or you'll be able to listen to your gut, and you need to listen to your gut. But yes, it is going to go successful. Will my spiritual gifts get stronger? Shadow work, yes. It's almost like think of like a channel, like a straw, and there's a certain shadow that's kind of in the straw that once you clear that, you'll be able to more flow through the straw. It feels like the shadow wound is like a family wound, or like it could be a loss of someone that kind of just needs to be processed more. It's like something you're avoiding facing, that once you face it, it clears the straw. Was I meant to tell my husband about a premonition dream about his passing? No. No, because I feel like he'd overthink about it too much or would think about it too often. And do one more and then I have to hop off. But I will be on tomorrow. Will my boyfriend and I move at the end of this lease or wait a little longer? Feels like you will wait a little longer, or the right thing is to wait a little longer. Almost like a better option is going to open up, but it's not here yet. So buying a little bit of time will be helpful. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. I am going to be back on tomorrow. Yeah. Talk to you soon. Thank you for coming.